What's up, everybody? It's Professor X. Welcome back to the channel. I gotta head out to go to T-Mobile because unfortunately for me, and I guess fortunately for them, I'm gonna have to upgrade my phone. I got an iPhone 10X or something, and I only got 64 gigabytes, and every time I go to make a video, I'm having to do it like 3 or 4 times because I'm running out of space, and y'all know how that goes. So, but I thought headed out in the last video on this phone, I was thinking about my father, who's still alive. Thank the Lord for that. But I was thinking about his wisdom that kept me out of a lot of trouble when I was a teenager. And one story in particular, well, first of all, my dad was a very, and is a very fair man. I mean, that's his thing. Like, he always had a lot of wisdom and always fair. So he taught all his kids there's always two sides to every coin. Like, don't just take one way of looking at it. There's always another way. If somebody come to you and say, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that, my dad would always, I mean, he was big on that. Like, hear the other person's side. Everybody's not going to tell it the way it really happened. And that stuck with me. So anyway, it was probably 92, 93. We was at football practice. And one of the guys on the team, he just started jawing. Little small fella. I really couldn't believe that he was running his mouth like that, to be honest. And he just running his mouth. So I was like, bro, you do know that we all got to walk home pretty much together. Like, we're going by the same neighborhood. So, you're putting yourself in a situation here. He ain't stopped, so we was okay. So we're walking home from football practice, and actually I had forgot about the situation, and I was walking home with another homeboy of mine, and we see this dude. So when we see him, of course, we chase him down, did what we do in the 90s, grabbed him. Back in them days, we used to call it stomped on him or whatever, but it was pretty bad. I mean, there was football helmets involved. It was pretty bad. And so we went home, because like I said in a different video, back in them days, you could actually get into a little tussle and still be around the next day to talk about it. So I get home, eating dinner, chilling. It's probably 11 o'clock at night. I hear the doorbell ring. My dad was in the military, so it was the military police at the door. I answered it. My father home, yeah, somebody's at the door. I'm not even thinking, right? Because I'm like, I ain't did nothing today. Long story short, had to go down to the station. And of course, they're there around the table. Not the guy that was jumped on, but the officers. They're all around the table trying to get me to confess what was done. I'm not saying anything. I'm like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. And the other guy that was with me, his family wasn't there. I guess they couldn't get a hold of him or whatever. And I had told my dad that on the way there, because I guess they told my dad what it was going to be about. So I told my dad I was with so-and-so. So when we get there, my dad don't see him. He tells me later his thought process. And I heard him ask them too, said, where's so-and-so's family at? And they was like, we couldn't get a hold of them. So I remember my dad asked. So anyway, they try to play slick, right? The officers, military called MPs, they try to play slick. They said, we're gonna leave the room and then you tell your dad what really happened. And if you tell your dad what really happened, we'll go easier on you because at least you told the truth. Now, I'm 14, 15 years old at the time, so I'm not even thinking, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's what they said, that's what they mean. But I don't even realize at the time, like, that ain't how this works. But that was my first time having to go to a station, so I didn't really know. So they leave the room, and I'm sitting at the table with my dad. So I'm like, well, Dad, for real, this is how it went down. The old boy was running his mouth. And my dad said, hold on, before you finish, you got something in your nose. I can't listen to you, you got something in your nose. He was like, go to that mirror over there and get it out. So I'll go to the mirror, but I don't see nothing in my nose. So I come back, and he was like, you still got in your nose. I already told you, I can't talk to you with that in your nose, man. Come on now, you my son. Don't be gross. So I go back to the mirror. I'm like, what is this dude? Ain't nothing in my nose. So when I came back the third time, he said, you need to go back to the mirror. This time, look a little higher. And you'll see it's in the back of your nose. So when I looked up the third time, I seen a little sign right above the mirror that says this is a two-way recording device. This is a two-way recording device that can pick up on all audio and visual, whatever. So I was like, oh, I see what my dad's doing. So when I came back to the table and sat down, I was like, yeah, Dad, I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, he's on my football team. He did get tackled hard a few times, but other than that, that's it. Like, everything else they saying, I don't even know what they're talking about. So of course, you know, they pretty much was like, all right, sir, y'all can leave, whatever. So on the way home, I asked my dad, I said, I know you know that I was involved with that situation because I was about to tell you everything that happened. What made you change your mind? And my dad told me, he said, I was not gonna let them put all of the blame on my son when there was other people involved. Yep, that's what he told me, and I'll never forget that. His wisdom saved me whatever was gonna come with that. It was back in them days, if you got in trouble, they just kind of gave you community service, and you had to pick up a bunch of cans or something on the weekend, 50 hours of community service, and you get through it. But that's what he told me. He said, I was not gonna let them put everything on my son knowing that there was other people involved. So anyway, that's my story time today. Just thinking about my father, he's still alive. And his wisdom, fathers, we need us. Our children need us. It don't always have to be a bad situation that they need us for, but just general in life, they need us. All right, I'll holler at y'all.